Hey guys, what is up? What's going on, people? It's crazy, right? It's been a long since we record, so yeah, even I forget how to do an intro. But still, we're back again after a lot of struggle, a lot of hardships. So we're finally back to pod, and I guess we have a lot to share on our pod as a weekly review or monthly review. But as a host, I won't give you guys a long time. You guys can start with a 2 minute timer, whatever you want to express within 2 minute duration. All right,
Sure,
I see,
sure.
all right.
Since
You can
Ananda,
start
like,
from Ananda.
no,
I
like
see
since
him.
Ananda,
Yeah, Chris,
wait,
please.
Yeah,
Ananda, I feel like Ananda has more stories to tell since he was the one who went abroad. So I'd like to recap mine in less
Sure,
than a
sure.
minute.
Yeah.
So
and you
these
like to
past
give your
weeks,
1 minute to him.
All right, Himo, come on.
All right,
Let him
come
just get
on,
over
bro.
it, man.
but yeah, these past few weeks, like we had the Super Bowl here at New Orleans. That is the finals for the American football.
See Himo?
Also, we had a light show at French Quarter, so I went to see that. And the other highlights for these past few weeks is that I did a jamming session yesterday with a Vietnamese friend, right? And it was pretty fun. I went to a birthday party afterwards. And the other thing is, I bought this, which is a to-do list that I have written down there so that I could manage my schedule better because there
Stop
have
it
been a
from
lot of
poster
things
work.
that have yeah, that is pretty hard to keep up with. So just to remind myself of it time and again, I got that. Else, like I don't think there is anything much that I did this past 3 weeks. See, the things that I did these past 3 weeks, I have to check the photos to remind myself of the things. But looking at the photos and videos, there isn't much that I've done this past 3 weeks. So yeah, yeah, you could go on with it then, Ananda.
I mean, yeah, there's not much that I've done past weeks. Just been to a country or so and, just, not really much now. Like just went to Europe, missed a flight, got back, and stuff like that. Those little things.
Mr. Flight
I mean,
only?
I
Mr.
mean,
Flight or Mr. Flight?
so
Grammar
yeah.
mistake, mate.
Mr. Flight, mate, what you talking about? Uh,
Oh, okay, sorry, my bad.
yeah.
Public alert. All right.
Anyway, it doesn't matter, mate. Just missing one flight, that's not a big deal. Everyone does that once in a while. So,
Yeah, once in a while or once in a life, still.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it has been a really, really long time. I feel like it has been a really long time. I've done a pod, so yeah, I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks, and yeah, you guys noticed him. I even forgot how to do an intro. He didn't even say that we'll go through weekly recap and all, and he just went on, and I'll give you 2 minutes to say it. And whoa, what are we meant to say, mate? You should be saying like we'll be doing weekly recap and all. So yeah, I think this is the longest break we've had since we started the pod. Um, yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
we had
Yeah.
the Ambassador World Cup, quarterfinals going on, so I was not able to, attend the pod. And then the next week I had to travel back here to Nepal, and then the next week, yeah, I think this is the week afterwards. So we're here. So with that being said, it has been a pretty hectic schedule. So ever since like 28th of January, it was World Cup until February 7th. So I got my visa on February 4th, and I had my flight on 5th. What the hell? Like I had less than 24 hours to you know get everything ready and just go to Czech Republic, Prague. And I went there. The trip was just for 2 days, by the way, because I had my Viva and all going on around in the college. So yeah, also I was the only one who got the visa, so I did not travel, afterwards. So yeah, it was a
Mm-hmm.
fun experience. Got to meet folks from all different countries, from 8 countries and 7 countries. Had a pretty good time, talking with them, interacting, and you know. partying, and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it was an amazing experience. And afterwards, on the way back, I actually missed my flight from Dubai to Nepal because the airport was so huge, and the bus took more than half an hour to get from one terminal to another terminal. So yeah, I ended up being like 5 minutes late or something like that, which led to the flight, being missed. So I had to get another flight and stuff. Like it was a pretty hectic, I don't know, it was a pretty stressful moment for a while, but yeah, at least better to go and miss the flight, right? Than than not go at all. That's what I've been saying to myself to console.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would have had a lot to share if we actually did the pod right after I missed the flight. But right now, I feel like, I mean, I don't want to
You
talk
have moved on,
too
right?
much. Yeah, I've already
Yeah,
moved on,
you
right?
already moved on.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
and
first session is already gone.
most
yeah,
So,
of the
all right,
time.
I'm taking over the mic because you take more than five
and
minutes
wait, wait,
for
wait.
your
Let me
weekly
let me let me
review.
so something, man.
Oh my
Seriously.
god.
So
Oh my
I
god.
got this adjustable table, and
Yo.
yesterday, and I literally can do the pod by standing right here. And so, Himal, yeah, it's all you, mate.
This is not ASL weekly review, guys. Come on, let's be serious. As I'm host, I
I
want
mean, cheers,
some good
mate.
views.
Yeah.
Cheese. So,
Hmm.
You want me to sit or something?
It's good.
sorry?
You want
You're
me to
good.
sit, or are you okay with me
Yeah, you
staying like?
you you have to sit so that I can start the poll, right? So I will start my weekly review.
All
So
right,
It
mate.
is good.
for the couple of weeks, my first week has been very normal, just same as usual. And then the last week, I went to cycling. I did on my own solo cycling. It was a great time. And then the, the point is I went to some kind of place that shown up in Google Maps, but Google Map was like you already reached on the destination, and there was nothing. It's like there was all there was all kind of jungle or kind of forest, and then I was basically lost, and then I just get back, and the next week. I had a staff party on my workplace. Yeah, I had fun with bottle of water, spring water, and then barbecue, Korean barbecue. And then other than that, the interesting thing that I have to share with you guys is about today's morning story. And then I locked myself out of my room, and then I had keys inside my room. What the fuck?
I
Yeah, and
mean,
then I was getting late for work, and then I didn't give a damn about the case at the moment, and then I just keep the stress, and then I went to the work. I got back, and then by the time I was done with my work, I was already at the chill point, the chill guy point. I was basically having the ice cream, and I was thinking, ha ha ha. How can you be so silly that you lock yourself out of your room and the keys inside the room, and even the spare keys inside the room, and then
I mean,
ha,
still
and
better
then
than
I got
missing
the
the
ice
flight,
cream.
right?
Yeah, and then you know, uh, I got back, and then I tried a couple of tricks. I tried getting every single thing that I get inside the hole, and then turning it right and left. And then after a while, I got a YouTube video, which was a lifesaver. I use a cardboard to unlock my door for free. Otherwise, if I had to call a okay, what's the name? I don't know, something Smeech. And then they would charge more than $400 as far as I know. And then I saved a couple of dollars. So yeah, that was everything interesting and then horrible incident till these days. So yeah, I think we're ready to go. And then what's the topic for today, guys? Come on,
Seriously, who
get
is the
some
host?
interesting points.
Who is the host, mate?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long, so I'm like, I feel like I'm in a break.
And you can look up the
So,
topics
I mean, this
in our
part is
Discord.
rather going to be a short one, so yeah, I think we'll go
so
till like
what
50
about
minutes.
we can talk about dates, all right? What do you guys think?
I
That
mean,
Yeah,
it's
that
it's
are
it's
we allowed to
something.
isn't
talk?
isn't it isn't it concerning? Isn't it concerning to you guys that that
Our video should be
if
rated 18 plus to we need to have the explicit consent to have this video on YouTube, if we talk about that.
why?
It's not a, I don't think it's a topic, it's a topic to freely talk
All
about,
right, then we can talk about OCD then. What do you think?
OCD.
That can
Oh,
be an
wait.
interesting thing. Chris, as someone, who's conquered OCD, who self-claims to have
That
conquered OCD, yeah, we
Yeah,
can definitely talk about it.
actually,
he have OCD like you
yeah,
know
we
he
did plan
can't
to talk about
see
OCD.
himself on the mirror.
Changed our topic midway through last video. Yeah, I guess.
Sorry?
No, we were planning to talk about OCD, then you came up with the topic to talk about AI, and then we again changed it to talking about foreign passport and visa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we can go
So
for
yeah,
OCD, yeah.
yeah, we could go back to OCD now.
Yeah, all right.
So what is OCD to you guys? Like, let's start from the basic, intro
I mean,
from OCD. Like, get the definition of yours like on your own. Like, you don't have to be correct. You don't have to be formal. You don't have to use some cool words. Just
Okay, like the
express what you think. So I will start from Anand the Chris.
no,
Ananda,
no,
because
sorry,
he have
Chris.
no idea what to talk. He have no idea what to talk. That's why I will give first chance to him.
I mean, like,
So
I
okay,
think
yeah,
I'll pass
Ananda.
this on to Chris because Chris is someone who's done extensive research on these things. So I'd rather be a bit silent on
extensive
this topic.
research on what
Uh,
OCD.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the practical is like
I mean, some
the
people
Chris
say
himself.
Chris, some people say Chris is OCD Kumar and he really, attracts people with OCD and all, you know,
OCD Kumar. Oh my God,
OCD
no.
gay.
Okay, okay. So, wait, you got some facts wrong. Okay, so I'll first fact check everything. Okay, so first OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. I think that's
My
a
goodness,
disorder.
I told you to be normal. Like you don't have to go on in depth. Like you
Sorry,
don't have
man,
to
We
be
have to be
formal.
you
The
don't
full
know a
form.
thing.
Oh
I mean,
my
okay.
that's the,
goodness.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't knew the full form.
I also knew it, man.
Honestly.
Seriously, you're the one who knows the least about OCD. Shut up.
Okay.
Let,
And
let us
All
carry this
right.
pod, Himo.
All
Yeah.
right.
and there's three things to look out for, mainly two things: obsession and then compulsion, right? And this obsession can come in many different forms. And like the normal OCD that we talk about is the one that the perfection kind of OCD where everything has to be perfect, symmetrical, the OCD that I'm talking about, right? But I feel like OCD could come in various forms too, which we'll get into further on. But the basic gist of OCD is that you have to do a task continuously, that is being obsessed in it and being compulsive in it. And the drawback is that whenever you feel like you did the task wrong or you do not do it, then you have intrusive thoughts that something bad is going to happen. So you are compelled to do it. So that is where the compulsion comes in, so like you have to do the task, else something bad is going to happen, which is why you do the task, which could be either a thing to like make a thing symmetrical, perfect, or clean your hands, or a lot of different forms.
Yeah,
But
wash your hand after pee. City boys.
Sorry, man. That's basic hygiene, man.
basic
Seriously.
That's even like.
hygiene, what do you mean washing
Come
hands
on.
after man? But
Come on,
like
don't be formal on pod, guys. Be real, be you.
No, sorry, man.
it's
Like
different.
Not relatable at
so,
all.
so be honest. I will ask you guys. How often do you wash your hand after you pee?
Bro, every single time,
No,
man.
I'm not talking about OCD guy. I'm talking about the other guy who missed the flight.
Oh,
No, I
oh
mean,
God.
I do, mate. Not like you. So
Often.
that's a
How
basic
often?
hygiene.
How often?
I
Just
mean,
just
all the
keep it
time,
simple.
all the
Just keep it
time.
simple. Keep it simple. All
Maybe
the time?
almost all the time, mate. Yeah. So,
Come on, man. Come on.
and
Fake.
I
Actually,
mean,
Fake.
you're the
really,
only one
Himal, you
who.
work in Mac and you don't have basic hygiene. I don't think I'll be eating from
Come
Mac from now
on.
on because
Oh, you think?
yeah, there is no Mac in Nepal, so then I won't be eating from Mac from now on.
Mhm.
All right,
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, keep
yeah,
continuing.
yeah, as I was saying, right? So, like, say, OCD comes in different forms, and I've seen people with different kinds of OCD, right? But we'll get deep into it pretty soon. But what are your guys' definition of OCD? What did you think OCD was when you first heard about it, or when you first experienced someone doing it, like in general?
The
So
only memory that I have about OCD is like Pokhara, and then the taxi
Okay.
driver uncle, and then OCD
Uh-huh.
talks, and then OCD dude, and then he was like, "Don't say that," and then like, it, that's their problem. Don't make joke of it. So
I mean,
for me, like OCD can be defined as anything. Like, so
yeah,
for
OCD
the
can be this glass
well,
as well.
no, no, no. I'm not talking about any specific thing, like a specific behavior. The person, the basically the habit one follows for a long time. So if I'm used to sit in like unmanaged room, I've also to be on a clean room. So if I need everything, so I'm talking. Come on, Ananda, I'm being honest. And then I've seen people, so you can basically laugh like that. What do you think, Chris? So come on, Ananda, you're laughing.
I
Come
mean,
on,
I
be
mean, who
serious,
would have
man.
OCD by going into a clean room, man? Seriously, I don't think that's something like that
Come
exists.
on, people do have. Come on,
Really? Sorry, I didn't know about that, so
you.
my bad.
No, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of it. Uh,
So
like
it's like,
people not
so
people
I would say
not
I would
only.
say one OCD about me. So I would say OCD to that. Like, so I need everything managed at this point. So
Mhm,
at this point, I need everything managed. So I think this might be a symmetric OCD or stuff like that. Like even in Mac has, whenever I do cleaning, I need everything. Once I'm done, I need everything on like line, and then symmetric. When you see from far, it's like, yeah, it's brand new opening. So we might say it OCD, but
It
like
is,
I
it
don't
is.
care once I leave from there. I don't care if like people misuse it, or like put it on the other way, or like make it dirty. But still, when I'm doing it, I need it perfect and fine. I think we can call it OCD too.
mhm.
Yeah, so
So
I think
yeah, and you can
my
start.
first experience, I mean, first I learned the term OCD for the first time from a movie. There was this movie about a guy who had OCD and he wanted everything so clean, super clean, and he couldn't, you know, it was like over exaggeration of OCD. And I thought, what the hell, something like this doesn't exist at all. Like, this is just a random ass movie. It was a South Indian movie.
Mm.
But like later on, I don't know why, how, but like somehow, I get introduced to it a bit more in a, understandable way, more like common way, common. It was more like simple things, it was not that extreme as well, and it didn't have to be that extreme. So, and I mean, at some level, I think everyone has OCD, but like it depends whether it, really hampers with your daily life or not. Because like if you're a really cleanliness freak, you want everything super organized. I don't think you'll be like most of the times you'll be banging your head because you don't find things super organized and all. So yeah, I mean, I don't have such, cleanliness OCD, so that's a good thing. But like as Himal said, he wants everything to be perfectly symmetrical. For me, it's a bit different case. For me, it's more of like, when I'm walking, I want, I don't know how to explain it, but like I want to put my legs on certain tiles. And I need to achieve that when I'm walking in stairs as well. I need to get my left foot on the bottom one all the time and right foot on the top one all the time. So these
Yeah.
small things, So this is one of the things that I had, and I literally, I made a goal to, conquer all these stuffs by 2025. So I was following it, but like at some point we started to lose as Team Nepal, and I blamed OCD for losing because I didn't follow the rules. So I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to, maybe we'll win if I follow the OCD thing. I'm trying to convince myself. Because I remember
Yeah.
the first time I follow something like that, I challenge myself if I cross this tile and get to that tile, CSK would win the IPL. That's where it started from. I was in class 4 or 5, something like that. I still remember that. But then
Yeah.
it gradually started increasing and increasing and all. So yeah, it is something that
Mhm.
I need to work on, and I'm trying to work on as well, but I was trying to work on it before the World Cup started, but like because of the break, I took a break from OCD, as well. I mean, I went back to my old habits, so yeah, I'll definitely
Procrastinating OCD.
Was that?
I took a break from OCD break, So yeah, I mean, I don't have much more than that, I
Uh-huh.
guess. That's something, that's one of the primary OCDs for me. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, I guess,
I
yeah,
like
that is it. So
Yeah,
yeah, Chris.
I like how I like how normally OCD is about, doing a certain task to avoid an outcome, and how you did the task to actually want an outcome, that is CSK to win the IPL. So that is kind of a reverse OCD kind of thing. But yeah, I've seen people with the cleanliness OCD, as Himal said. I've seen people with the symmetrical OCD. I've known
Yeah,
people like,
including trees
yeah,
and so.
and there's this one other kind of OCD where you have to repeatedly check whether you did a thing or not. So like normally
I blame
I
your
had
your
this
memory power for that.
no, like normally what like even though you know that you have done something, but you again have to check it. Like for example, I used to have this OCD where I used to lock my room, and then back while living in Banishore, I used to lock my room. I mean, lock the whole door outside, and then since I used to live alone most of the times, I used to like be alone at the whole flat, right? So I had to lock the main entrance to the home. And after locking it, while I used to do my stuff, I always used to have this intrusive thoughts that what if the door was open and what if someone entered, and I would be alone, so I wouldn't be able to fight back or something like that. So I again had to go check the door whether it's locked or not. So I repeatedly had to do this every 30 minutes or so, just to be
What
sure.
the?
And this is, yeah,
Just
I used
make
to have this, man.
just make a video, man,
City
of you
boys
locking the
problem.
door.
City,
I mean, yeah, I can
city
give an
boys.
example of like this sort of compulsion that is said. When getting off from the flight, I always triple check if I had my passport, my or if I carried everything from the plane, because like when I have everything, I feel like, oh, I think I've left something. But like unlike your home, you cannot double check in plane. So yeah, if you don't have it, you're doomed. Maybe you'll be able to get it, but you have to
Uh,
go through a lot of trouble. But like, yeah, I do have that fear of maybe leaving something
mhm.
when getting off the plane.
Yeah, and the checking kind of OCD can happen with relationships too. And I've seen those kind of OCDs too, that where a girl or a guy needs reassurance that their partner loves them, and they repeatedly ask their partner whether, oh, you love me, right? Okay, please tell me again, you love me, right? So they have to continuously check whether their partner loves them or not. So to be reassured that their real relationship is still intact. And this
Mhm.
is the other form of the checking kind of relationship that I've seen, right?
Yeah.
And also, there's one of my friend, my very close friend. I would not like to reveal his name, but he has this he has this masochistic kind of OCD where he has to inflict self-harm on himself. So he, whenever he had a wound, what he used to do is he used to get a sharp needle or a compass, and he used to play around with these wounds
What?
to inflict self-harm. So he used to get dopamine from inflicting self-harm, and he had to do it continuously, and his wound would get worse every day. His wound would get worse and worse, but he had to do it because one, it was a OCD. It was an OCD. The second thing is he used to like the dopamine that you get while playing around, like how whenever we itch, right, we get this, I don't know if it's dopamine or serotonin, but we get this hormone that makes us want to itch more, right? Like the satisfaction kind of hormone. And the same thing happens with pain too. So like up to certain extent, up like any sort of pain gives you a little bit of
Pleasure,
dopamine,
yeah, I can feel it too.
right? And what he
So
used to do
whenever
is
you got one and then it's feel like getting the crap out of the one, that might be an
yeah,
OCD too.
yeah, even though it hurts, for some reason it feels
Yeah,
good. You want
good.
to
Yeah,
do it.
it will like yeah, I did it. Oh my goodness,
I
Yeah.
know,
checklist
like it.
done.
Yeah,
And that's
and
something,
this.
yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
something you one needs to get checked up on, man. Maybe like get a therapy or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe go.
Well, no, we used to tell that guy like, bro, please, like, how serious a wound can get if you do not like let it cure by itself. It could turn into like a surgical process, for example.
I mean, yeah,
So
you can
we
get
always
infections,
used
you know.
Yeah, infections, yeah.
Yeah.
And we used to tell him that, bro, please stop it. It's hard for us to look. And on top of that, like, it's kind of crazy how you could go to that level of depth just because of an OCD, a condition. And yeah, like, do you guys have any idea on like the psychological aspect of OCD, like
I
what
mean,
goes
before
into our brain?
before we move into that, I also have a case of OCD that I want to share. I mean, not me, but like
Like,
someone I know. I don't like to disclose their names, obviously. But like, yeah, they have this
mhm.
OCD
Yeah,
of washing their hands, constantly, and they wash their hands so much that at one point their the skin, it started peeling off because they are like
Ah,
washing their hands like every 30 minutes or so. And
uh-huh.
yeah, it's one of those cleanliness OCD, you feel real, they feel really, what do you call that, the word in English, sixico or whatever, and you
Sixico.
gotta,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah.
gotta wash
what was that
hand.
word?
And you don't know
Yeah.
sixico lagu, stupid ass,
It's like,
feeling, yeah, feeling,
yeah, you feel uncomfortable without
yeah,
doing the thing, you are
yeah, and
continuously.
they used to wash their hands,
Mhm.
and they washed their hands so much at one point that the skin's really, really, out. So yeah, it is a serious problem if you are, inflicting self harm, and if you're, doing it to that level. Uh, so yeah, definitely a serious matter if things go out of hand.
Yeah, another example too, like have you guys watched like America's Got Talent?
Yep.
Nah.
Yeah, so there's this one judge, his name is Howie Mandel, and he never handshakes with people because he has this, I don't know, they call it germophobic or something, the condition, but basically it's like OCD too. So he never handshakes people, he has to fist bump them because he feels like whenever he handshakes, the germs spread into his hands and he has to wash it time and again. So there's this, critical condition too. And like, uh, what do you guys think is the main reason for being obsessed in this? Because like the psychological uh thing or the evidence is that you have to do a thing in order to avoid an outcome, or like how Ananda did to
Achieve an outcome.
hope for an outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, hope for an outcome. But I feel like like most of the times, it's always about the intrusive thoughts that you want to avoid something to happen. Like how I gave the example of how I had to check my door time and again so that like a criminal would not come inside and do the intrusive thoughts, but still, like even in cases as simple as like symmetry, like I always used to have whenever I used to live back in Jorpadi, and this was way after the earthquake happened, right? And I had this fear of earthquakes for a while. And what I normally the main reason for my OCD was if I didn't do something right, like I would feel like an earthquake was going to happen, and I had these intrusive thoughts that since I used to live on the top floor, right, so I would be the last one to escape. So I would be like, oh no, if the house could collapse like this or like this, and I would die either way, and I had these intrusive thoughts even in simple things like if I don't keep two things symmetrical, like even suppose my AirPods are facing this way, but I have to make it this way, so as simple as that. So I feel like the major factor for being obsessed or being the compulsion to do these things time and again is for the outcome, the intrusive thoughts, and the main therapy or like the cure to OCD basically is to
To
remove the intrusive thoughts. Yeah, to
ignore the
ignore the
intrusive thought
intrusive.
because you cannot really remove it. You just
And
gotta
for me,
ignore
how
it.
it helped was for me, I challenged my intrusive thoughts. So I was the like one day, like giving the earthquake example, right? One day I was like, bro, I'll not keep the thing symmetrical. Let's see if the earthquake happens or not. And I actually challenged that. I was mentally I watched a video of ASAP Science that is why death doesn't matter or like why death is a part of life, so you do not need to be scared of it. And the only reason I used to have OCD is because I was scared of death, right? At the point. And I had watched that video and I had this mentality that, okay, I'm ready to die. I don't care about life, death is a part of life. And then I did the thing. I kept the thing unsymmetrical and I waited for the outcome to happen and nothing happened, right? And I was like, this is bullshit. And then from that day on, my OCD started to relieve. But like to be honest, there were actually points where my intrusive thoughts were real. So that is why I had OCD for such a long time. Like uh even I know you guys would not believe it, but the earthquake thing actually happened. Like when I tried to ignore an OCD, there actually was an earthquake in my home, not a big one, but about a 4 Richter scale. Actually, when that also like right after I thought, right after I ignored the intrusive thoughts, that is when it happened. So that was the moment I was crazy, at it, and I could not overcome it. I could not be relieved from it. But later on, I managed to get these thoughts away, So that was my
So how
experience with
how
OCD.
did you overcome, Chris? When you were in
Yeah,
Nepal, you had OCD, right? But now I think we had a discussion once or something. You said you completely
yeah,
overcame it. So how did you do it?
yeah. Yeah, as I said, like I let the intrusive thoughts happen. I was like, I'll leave it as it is. Let's see what the outcome is going to happen. Because for me, the main fear was like it was always revolving around death. I know some other people have other kinds of intrusive thoughts, but for me, it was always about death. And I always used to be scared of death back then. And at some point, what started to happen was we used to have this discussions, right? Like how life is so insignificant and how that is a part of life. And even after those kind of talks, I feel like I accepted death as it is, and that was one reason for for being relieved from OCD. The other thing is I just let the intrusive thoughts play out, and see what happens, and looks like nothing happened. So I feel like it's the same for all of the people. There obviously there is a outcome for. I mean, there has to be an intrusive thought for it to be OCD, right? And what you do is you just let the intrusive thoughts play out, see what happens, and hopefully nothing will happen. That's the thing. And you once you know that, okay, so once you know that OCD, the outcome didn't actually happen. So next time you're good, you're fine with any kind of obsession, you know? So you could be relieved from any kind of OCD after that. So I feel like that is the best, the self therapy technique that I like to call, you know? Just let it play out. Or else, like, go to a consulting center, I guess. I don't know. But
Yeah.
like currently I have zero OCD as far as I remember. So even if I feel like I have to do something, I just do the opposite of it and let things play out and nothing happens, and that is how I conquer all of my OCD. Because every day I build up some kind of OCD, then I conquer it the same day, you know.
Oh
For a
my
long time I
goodness.
had this, and it sounds silly, but I had this OCD. Like whenever I hang my towel, the right part has to be a little more than the left part, so the right
It's
part has to
always
be longer than the left one.
it's always the right, you know.
Yeah, it's always
Right.
the right. Yeah,
Yeah.
the right
Always
width.
right.
Yeah,
Right needs to be given more priority than the left.
yeah. I had those kind of. Also, I had the number OCD. Like, do you guys have like a bad unlucky number? Because
Not
I used to
really.
have a lot of unlucky numbers. So for me, like a multiple of four was always unlucky. So the unluckiest number was eight, and after that was four. You know, and even the multiples of four, I used to count it. Like for everything, I used to count whether it was a multiple of four or not,
I
and
mean,
I used to figure out whether it is a bad thing or a good
you,
thing.
you don't really have to count that. You can just divide it, by four and like divide it by two
Yeah,
and then two
basically,
again.
yeah, bro, chill, chill. Look, I know my maths, man. But my favorite number was one, two, three. You know, and whenever something fell into these categories, I used to feel confident. You know, I used to feel like, oh, let's go, baby. But yeah, those were some kind of OCDs that I had. I don't want to go in depth because I used to have a lot of OCD, and I feel the people out
Yeah,
there who
basically
experience
he's
OCD.
a big file of OCD, you know.
Yeah,
He's
and yeah, I feel for the people who are struggling with OCD, but just let it play out, let the
yeah, I
intrusive thoughts
think
play
like
out.
modern people have modern, problems. Like
Yeah,
how OCD can be a problem, man. Come on, be serious. It's like not washing a hand after a pee, you know. Not a big deal.
yeah,
You
it's
can
the
wash it before
intrusive
you eat.
the act is not a big deal. It's the intrusive thoughts that you have. So normally, what people fear is like the most common kind of intrusive thought is something is going to happen to their family, right? So like if they don't do a certain thing, like there's going to be certain kind of harm to their family, and that is the most common intrusive thoughts. And like you can let it just play out since you are not the one guilty there. I mean, you are the one guilty there because you are not inflicting self harm. Like for me, I used to feel scared about death, but it was for me myself, so that wasn't a big deal. But for people who are afraid that something is going to happen to their loved ones or their family members or their partner, that could be a big deal to them, and it's hard to get over it. So
Yeah, I mean it's all in the head. So yeah, it's all about conquering
Sure.
yourself, I guess, because I mean your mind is a really
Yeah.
complex thing, and yeah, it makes you do stuff.
It's like basic, simple and complex thing at the same time. In the same time, I would say. So it's like it's up to you.
Yeah, at the end
So
of the day,
it
it's up to
depends,
you.
it depends. So it depends. It's upon you, but it's still sometimes things goes crazy that like things are not even in your control. The the outside circumstances they might affect you,
you
even
know
though it's you.
You
Yeah,
know
just
the worst part about not being able to conquer OCD is when it comes to PTSD. And suppose the one time you wanted to let your intrusive thoughts out, and then
What
the intrusive
PTSD is?
post.
okay, we'll get into it.
Yeah, all right.
Well, post-traumatic
PTSD.
PTSD,
Stress
syndrome
disorder,
disorder,
post-traumatic stress disorder.
stress disorder. Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay,
It's,
so
yep.
So better the better thing about OCD is like if you don't know any term, you will never have an OCD. Just like
You don't
me.
need to know the term,
I
right?
don't
You can
even
just have
know
it.
yeah,
Because
I
I
didn't
had
even
OCD
know
from a
OCD.
long
I
time,
used to
but I
have a
didn't know it was called OCD.
yeah, me
what
too. And I used to fear that I was the only person
is
who used to feel this
even
way.
Chris. Can we
Yeah,
count
that
this as an OCD or not?
exactly. I think that's also an OCD because my hands need to do something, whether it be like doing this or doing
Yeah,
this or
it
like doing
need to play
this
with
or
something.
my
Yeah.
hand need to do something. So that's
Hmm.
also an OCD for sure.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And yeah, as I was getting into it, like it is the worst when OCD comes with PTSD, especially when you try to overcome an intrusive thought, and despite that, the intrusive thought actually happens. Like some suppose you didn't put a thing symmetrically, and all of a sudden, some kind of harm happened to your family once, right? So suppose it happened once, that means you're bounded by it. So
Yeah,
whenever if the next time you have to like align the symmetry, you are bound to do it because you know that already once the outcome has happened, and your brain automatically tells you that it's going to happen again. So like there's this PTSD, that the trauma that has already happened, and you align it with OCD, and you are bounded by it. You feel hard, you are obligated to do it, because you have already experienced the bad outcome all once already. So I had the same thing with the earthquake thing, that I experienced it once, so I was bounded by it for a long time. But then I tried it again, and it didn't happen. And yeah, that is the way to go. You just let it play out, because sometimes there could be coincidences, like in many cases, and it's not going to happen every time, so you just let it out. And I feel like that is one thing that most of the consultants or the therapists, they tell to their patients, just let it play out, let the intrusive thoughts play out, see that nothing is going to happen, and then you get rid of it. And yeah, I feel like that is the main way to get rid of OCD. But do you guys have any other ways that you think if people could get rid of OCD, like having strong mentality?
I mean, I would have
Yeah,
loved
I
to.
would definitely say that.
I would have loved to share something, but it's someone who hasn't conquered OCD yet. I would like to remain silent because I'm still fighting my battle. So, yeah.
Okay, so I think I can be a perfect candidate as it's already been more than 2 months for me on a strict stops,
Okay.
conquer everything, and it's been 2 months. I don't even know, like, it's not, I forgot counting days, and then I realized when I look at my calendar, oh my goodness, it's already 2 months. Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah, so you don't like count days off. It's like by time, it's already 2 months, 10 more months to go. So just
Mm-hmm.
have a great mentality. Just
Guys, I have a hot take. I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but the superstitions are basically forms of OCD.
Mm. I mean, superstitions are hard-coded OCDs.
Yeah,
But
and
wait,
they're
no,
passed
that's
down
yeah.
not how it
through.
is. That's not how it is. Actually, superstitions cause OCD because you're forced to believe in something. And like, let's take an example of, like the mensuration stuff that we have here, right? So, I mean,
Nah, wait. I would prove you wrong.
No,
So
let's
if
give
you're
the
blaming
let's give
superstitious
the
belief
basic
for the
cat.
OCD as a reason, wait,
no.
wait, Chris, wait, Chris. So I have seen people like they neither do believe on ghosts or like they don't follow any religion. They don't have any specific particular thing that they follow. They're like atheists, right? Atheists, and then like whatever they like, they do. Whatever they don't like, they won't do. So
Yeah, but like
even
superstitions
people
are
like
not part of religions every time, you know? like take the black cat the thing for example, like a bad black cat crossing your road, like it's not connected with any super, I mean any religion, you know. It's just a made up thing. Even like even the simplest, like did you used to have that whenever you had to touch your neck you had to blow it up, blow your hand, right?
Yeah,
That's got nothing to do with religion, right? It's a basic thing that you saw the other person doing and you
yeah,
had to
you
do
was
it,
doing
you
it.
know?
It's been a while. I haven't done that. I literally forgot. Like I just had a quick reminder that I
All
used to
right,
do that.
let's do the
You know,
OCD thing. Let's touch our
when
neck and not blow our hands. All right.
See, I've already conquered it, you know, so I can feel.
yeah.
Oh,
Even I
man.
have even conquered the pee stuff. You know.
No, I won't do it. All right, let's do it. Challenge accepted. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is a challenge to all our audience as well.
challenge, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my, this is pretty tough, huh?
Yeah, even these are simple kinds of OCDs, and like this may not be a superstition, but there are different other things that are considered superstitions, like the black cat thing, like the menstruation thing, you know, the different activities that you have to follow.
It's something that you've
And
been
I feel
told
like,
since you were
yeah,
young age. So it's like the
yeah,
society
it's
imposed
like,
that
you
So
know,
OCD
it's
on
like
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
The
been
the
passed
ones
on
that
from
yeah.
a long.
the ones that you get from
Mhm.
your own head are the OCDs that you create yourself, but these are the general OCDs that the society creates for you.
Yeah, and even to this day, like whenever I see this is one OCD that I could never conquer, like for good reasons, I guess. Like whenever I see a sandal upside down, I have to flip it to.
Okay, yeah.
That's not a good mod. Come on,
Uh,
you can
It's,
like
I mean, the thing is, it's a good act, you know, because why leave it upside down when it has to
Yeah.
be
it's a
flipped to the other side?
symmetric OCD. You know
No, it does not have to be symmetric, but you know, it's like helping the other person because the thing is
why?
disoriented. It's like
How?
it's like you have a trash in your room, and whenever you want to
So
throw it to,
you basically mean like the upside down sandal is garbage? Is what garbage? What the
yeah, no,
fuck?
it's a basic disorientation in society, like how a trash is not.
Nah, come on, be honest. So it's like people
Look,
are not allowed to have like shoes and sandals inside the
Uh,
house, and then like people will
no,
have an
that's not.
OCD,
See, it's like,
bro.
see, sandals are supposed to be flipped, not flipped, right? They are supposed to be on
So
facing their.
who told you that?
Who didn't it?
seriously,
That is how
Mo.
we wear sandals,
Seriously,
man.
Mo. You're
Who
not
told
going
you
too
that? Like
far.
what's
You're
the
go, you're
no?
going.
What's the
Literally, who
proof?
told you that?
Like
What's the proof?
is
Because
it
that is how you
is
wear
it?
sandals. You don't wear sandals upside down. So
No, no,
you
no, no,
put
no.
the dirty
So
part facing
it's
down.
like so it's like you never like put your clothes upside down. So it's like I'm wearing it on a front part.
Mhm.
So whenever
I
I get it
normally
off,
see. I
you
normally
have an
don't.
OCD.
I
You
normally
have an
don't.
OCD
But
then.
I don't care about the t-shirts because
So
it
even
doesn't matter.
t-shirt, you don't wear t-shirt on opposite
Yeah, but
position, right?
it
Opposite position or something
doesn't
like
really matter.
upside down kind of things.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
really matter with t-shirts because it's not a dirty thing, you know. But
Oh,
a
guys,
sandal is a dirty thing.
t-shirt,
I
even
just, I
armpit
just
and
blew.
sweat.
I,
That's even a dirty
Yeah,
things, you know.
you have sweat outside too,
seriously,
you know.
guys,
Like,
stop fighting.
Yeah.
I just blew my hand after touching my neck. Subconsciously, sorry about that. I did it subconsciously, so yeah. So whatever. You guys keep on fighting.
okay, getting back to superstitions again, getting back to superstitions. Like the
Yeah, man,
menstruation
like
thing that you talked about, how girls have to, you know, abide by the rules that they should not enter a kitchen, they should not enter a temple, you know. And I feel like there are reasons to it, like considering hygiene and all, but
Not anymore.
while yeah, not anymore,
Uh,
right? Like taking it
yeah,
as a whole, it isn't like that significant, and the superstition is still prevalent to this day.
yeah.
Even different kinds of prathas, you know, that they call like the sati pratha, the common one. they
Yeah.
are still relevant in different parts of Nepal.
So about
And
the menstruation styles, like I would say, like uh, on some to some extent, like I think people from the old era, they try to help the woman, I guess,
Yeah, I
because
mean,
they're
it's
going
it's
through
for
a
the
lot
ultimate
on
better.
there. Like,
It's
yeah,
ultimately
so
for the
it's like
better. But
either way is for better. So women are so the crazy things is
I mean,
so
if you have to cook the food, I mean, it's kind of better. But like, it's not really practical at this point, at this age, when especially when you're maybe living abroad and stuff like that. You've got things to do, right? And I mean, not having to cook, that's a great thing. But the problem is
yeah.
that but
If
the
I
problem
was
is
a
that
girl,
you'll not
if
be
I
allowed
was
to
a
go to the
girl, I would be
kitchen.
happy.
The
If I was a
problem
girl,
is
I would be happy.
Yeah, the
You
problem is
know.
not being able to go to the kitchen because I mean that's not really feasible when you're just the two of you living together. Maybe somewhere in the US or Australia as well. So, yeah, I mean,
yeah, and
it
as you
might have been.
said,
Yeah,
yeah,
And
as you
the
said,
reason they do the reason they do follow back then, because like they didn't used to have a sanitary pad back then, the
yeah.
proper ways to take care about everything. So we can't blame them, I guess, as
Yeah,
far
I
as I
mean,
know.
that
nobody's
couldn't
to
have been a
blame.
reason. Yeah, right.
Sorry.
So
That couldn't have
because
been. Go
to
ahead.
these days, like there are a lot of alternatives. They can be like, yay, compy 24/7. The ads that we saw. Even you can play cricket. The compy ads. So yeah, you're
Yeah,
allowed to do anything you want.
it's a
And then like
it's a
I would be happy if my girl wants to cook even when she's on period. I will be happy because I
Same.
don't even have to cook. Yeah, I will be happy.
Did you guys
I
know?
would be
Wait,
happy.
guys.
I would be
Did
happy.
you guys know that you don't actually use the pads on your you actually attach the pad on your
Yeah,
your woman
yeah, I
attach the
know.
pad on their panties. I didn't know about that.
I know, I know, I know,
I think Chris still didn't
I
know.
know.
I don't
Come
know, man.
on, Chris, boo! You're 22 and you don't even know that. Come on. And you're in
Uh,
US. Fuck.
Really?
yeah,
Go get some girls. Go
considering
get
it's
some
part of
girls.
hygiene, yeah, I agree that the menstruation superstition
He
has had a
completely,
thing
he
back
completely
here.
skipped the path.
But
It's okay.
listen, like the thing is with
And get
like
the lights on.
okay,
All
so
right.
like menstruation thing, we might not be able to call it hard-coded OCD because it probably had something to do with hygiene. But suppose a black cat superstition, that probably was one OCD for a person who actually crossed the line and his close one died or something,
If
something bad
if
happened,
you
and
actually
then
think
he
about
spread,
it, if you actually
yeah,
think about
and he
it,
spread,
black cats crossing the road is racist, man. I mean
yeah,
that
Yeah,
superstitious belief is
it's,
racist. Seriously, man.
it's yeah,
yeah,
it's like, yeah,
Why
yeah,
are
I agree, I
why
agree.
are white cats autocross and not
Why
black
only
cats?
white cat, right? So yeah, yeah, why only
Why
black
only
cat?
black cats are considered bad, bad whatever, bad omen or something like that?
Yeah, that's completely racist.
That's racist.
So
yeah,
so
Yeah.
back then people were not like that. Back then, so someone passes stuff, everyone believes. So it's like one believe that after a black cat crossing a road, his friend or his family member dies. And then he
yeah.
believed that, oh my fucking goodness, that black cat. And then like he tell the story to his close ones, and then the villagers and the country, and then the
The whole
outside of the country,
world.
and then it becomes their whole world. And then like it's like,
Because
yeah,
that is a form of
black
OCD,
cat.
right? Hard-coded OCD. That
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
so
stop
prevalent in
following
this
the
world.
I'll stop following the cat thing because like why be racist, man? Like I
Really,
didn't think of
you
from
have
a
never. So it's been
race.
a while. It's been a while for me. Even when I was in Nepal, it's been a long time since like I quit following this stuff
I mean,
about the black cat and
it
cats.
feels it feels a bit pinchy in your heart when a black cat crosses the
So,
road. You
cause
start thinking something will go
so
wrong.
human beings, human beings are like crazy stuff as far as I know. So they always look after the opportunity to blame other stuff. So that's how
Yeah.
the black cat stuffs come. So even for us, so I'm riding a bike. I saw a black cat crossing a road. I went I went across the road, and then traffic police caught me, and I got a fine. And then I won't think about my mistakes that I crossed the red line, or like I didn't
Yeah.
carry my documents with
Yeah,
me,
you'll blame the
or like
cat.
other stuff. I would blame that black cat, fucking black cat crossed the road, and then traffic police just caught me, and then I got fined. So it's totally up to the human being. So they
Yeah.
always try to find reasons to blame somebody so that they won't feel burden. They
Yeah.
don't want
Yeah.
to take the burden for a long time. So
That's a part of being
it's like,
human.
oh my goodness, I did a really really bad thing. So I have to drive carefully. Like I crossed the red line. Oh no, red light, and then it will take someone to go through that at least a week. So better than that, just blame the black cat because it's black. You know.
Yeah, okay. Enough with your racist jokes, man. But I think we should wrap this up. I'm already 7 minutes late to my class.
Alrighty.
So that's the
Alrighty.
thing.
Yeah.
You want to wrap up, Himal? Because you're the host.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting a warm up with one of our candidates. He want to leave soon. So as you all know, we're very nice to our audience as well as members. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
wrap this pod today. I hope I
Mm-hmm.
will see you all on
Next Monday.
next week. No, for me, I'm talking personally because
Oh, okay.
I'll be back
Okay.
as
Him will
host after 3 weeks.
him will
Okay.
host. All right.
Very
All
cool.
right.
So yeah,
Uh
see you on next week. Till then, try to get rid of the OCD thing that you have, and let me know what is the OCD that you follow. Black cat.
yeah.
All right, make sure if you watch this, make sure you drop a comment about this stuff. We want to know about the other people too, not only
Yeah.
like
Sure,
Ananda
you're
and Chris and
OCDs.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like it OCD varies from like people to people. So Black Cat OCD is not a big deal for me, but it is a big deal for Ananda. So just like this, there might be other OCD too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let us know in the comment section. Other
Yeah.
than
So
that, yeah, I
yeah.
look forward to get a intense support on this video. I need more than 100 views, because I don't want to be like less views than religious stuff or like ASL weekly review or like Ananda's sport. So please, for the God's
Um,
sake, help me out
Yeah.
to not break the
okay.
record of the lowest video.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so this was a
All
rather
right.
small, sorry, Kamal, I'd like to add as the video, editor, recorder, poster and all. This
More,
was a rather
more than
small
an hour.
pod because of the time constraint. So we'll have another one, maybe a bit longer. And yeah, till then, see you. Bye-bye.